in the first part of the pamphlet I gave you were the numbers that we submitted and the changes from the prior appropriation. This is basically the standard format that everybody in municipalities and library uses, changes from one appropriation or budget year to the next. So you can see that our levy is going to increase to $163,694, but our appropriation budget is going down because of the budget fund is no longer a reserve account.
The building fund?
The building fund, excuse me, a reserve account. On the expense side, you're going to see that we're going to be 60,000 under our employee-related expenses, and it's attributed that our reductions that we made last May, and this, you have to realize, this doesn't include the amount of raises in it. So the number is actually, what we're going down is a lot greater than the 60,000. Books are staying the same, marketing and all of that. We're tying it more into what we've spent or what we need to spend, not what's available to spend. And that's the whole theory of how we do it, is as needed, not what's available to spend. The programming, we do see that increasing because that's our biggest concern, improving our programming offering. The equipment is just slight increases and so forth. The maintenance of the building is tied into the building fund. So the revenue and the expense is offset in that account, so you can see that it was a decrease. But, you know, overall, if you get to the bottom line, we're decreasing from our prior appropriation, 194,000. And I believe no one else in the village did do that. Now, when I had the discussion with the village on Friday, I wanted to assure them that we do things a little bit different here. Again, we talk about budget to budget, that's nice. If I told you budget to budget, to our actuals, we were $825,000 under budget. That's because of appropriation for the building fund and for grants. So the number is way overstated. It doesn't give a true perspective on what we actually did. You know, when you're looking at it, you got to look at what you're actually going to. The budget tells you what you're authorized to spend, and what you do from that point is where it benefits the taxpayers, the library, and everyone involved. So I look at it from actual to budget, and when we do that, like I said, we're actual to budget, we're over $1 million, almost $1 million under. But more importantly, in some of our expenses, because we had to tighten our belt because of the tax distribution problem, we're going to end up about $200,000 under, and you can see that in employee costs and other expenses. Now, the third leg of analyzing any business or operation is, let's look at the operational view. For this purposes, I scoped 2021-22 to this past year, this current fiscal years, because that's what we were seeing some of the feedback from the village when we were looking at our numbers. So I scoped this to be more in line with what they're looking at. And as you can see, our programming, the point here is we've increased our payroll 51% from 3 years ago. But our performance in programming has gone up to 156%. Our attendance gone up 166%. And our staff cost efficiency is up 21%. Now, one of the things, it's easy to say, well, why did your salaries go up? Half our personnel are part-time people, and the minimum wage has gone up 38% from 3 years ago. So that has a huge impact. I've seen the same kind of increases for the budget across the street. So it's pretty consistent. You go up 38%, you're part-time people, especially when half your people are part-time. I informed the board that I have no plans of hiring any full-time people, staffing-wise. We're exactly where we want to be. And, you know, I wanted to tell them that the budget, I did tell them, excuse me, budget comparison alone does not tell the full story. A budget shows what you're authorized to spend, not what you actually spend or what services you deliver. And that's the important thing. The thing that I tried to stress with them is that I need to know how we're doing. And going budget to budget's not going to do that. I need to see where we're going on programming, on attendance, on every little facet of the library, including the books that we're ordering, how many are damaged. I mean, I am pretty anal that I took the reports on instances here to figure out where our security guards should stand. Where are most frequent areas of problems, and that's up on the second floor. Now, we've been really good over the last few months, but the important thing is that I wanted them to realize that they could have trust in what we're doing here. And, you know, some of the things I quoted was our library cost per hour is $39.27. That's purely salary, fringe benefits, and health benefits, compared to the village average cost of $65.95. We're 68% lower. It makes negotiation for things that we need a little bit easier, I hope. One of the things I did tell them, and I mentioned it to you, and Debbie and I have visited a lot of libraries, and I told you before, I think this library is fine. I don't think we need to put any huge investment in it. I think the carpet might have to be replaced. It's 23 years old now. Other than that, if we don't get any damage to the elevator, I don't see any big investment. But what I do see, and I can tell you, out of the libraries, once River Grove moves into their new library, our library is probably the worst. But I think it's pretty good, and we'll work with it.
In terms of the oldest?
Yeah, in terms of how it looks and the investment that they put in. These libraries just continually investing into their library. We don't need anything other than carpet. Now, I'm gonna be calling a building meeting shortly in the next couple weeks, because the state has identified someone that's gonna work with us, and our dollars for grants is open. I'm able to borrow half the amount, and the original amount was $210,000. But I want to sit down with them, because when we did this, that was 3 years ago. Things change. Things change where the total project, if I remember, was really going to be $825,000, and it included a lot. Now we made some adjustments on maybe to shorten the expenses, but they're gonna front us the money for an architect, which I had to bring in here, and along with a mechanical engineer, and this way they have to stamp the plans. We're following all the rules. I have that for the building committee to review, but I wanna make sure we follow the bidding process and everything that we're required by law. I've asked our attorneys to review the RFP, that's a request for proposal, and I'm hoping that goes out shortly. I have to do a public notice, and then I grant them, I think, about 15 days, 10 days by law to come in and bid on the project. And on May 6th at 5 p.m., we'll open the bids, and I'll review them. Everyone is welcome to be here. On the Monday board meeting, we'll go through that. I'm hoping I have my meeting with the state to make sure that we have everything in order, that maybe we could change things a little bit. I mean, we've also put in for other grant dollars that I've explained to you before about flip-flopping the P&G room and the teen room to expand the P&G room. And that was another point that I brought up to the board, that we're one of 23 libraries in the area that does P&G. And, so far this year, we've had 28 programs, over 380 students. The important thing on that is, we're the first to allow homeschool children to participate. So we have classes for P&G for homeschool children. So the 8 people that are there are all homeschool. We've received nothing but positive responses on that. I left the meeting with the board saying that if you have a question about the library, come to 1 Conti Parkway. If you need to know any questions, any of your residents have questions about the financials, I could provide them those answers. That's regarding the budget, and I think one of the things I want to talk about is we just recently had the train, as you heard, we got some compliments. We had over 300 people. The library was filled with train sets, all kinds. This whole room had 1 train set in it. It was phenomenal how these older gentlemen love this hobby. I did get the corner for everybody here in Elmwood Park. The Metro had someone there, so I did complain about the trains. I just want you to know that. They're already excited about coming next year. So next April we'll have them back, and we had the 2nd floor. Every space in the building had trains. My favorite was the Lego one that was upstairs in the teen area, but it was receptive, and I was very happy with the outcome on that. As you can see in the books,
Director, can I ask you a question? Sorry, just about the budget before we move way off of it. I mean, when I hear you say that we're under budget, 800,000,
yeah,
I feel like the village should be hearing we're under budget.
they did.
And that worked for you, so let's lower your budget, right? Like,
Well,
I mean,
you know
if
what,
we're
Mike?
under budget, aren't we like setting our own ceiling lower by doing that?
This is informational for now. Come
yeah,
to the finance committee meeting, because we should talk about it in detail there.
Yeah, Mike.
Okay.
So we can, and we'll address some of those things, because there's a lot more nuance to, other than what they're, giving to us
Yeah.
directly and telling us what we got.
Again, they're looking at budget to budget. I want to point out that we did tighten our belts last May, and that's why we're under. We went under in books and payroll and everything. I wanted to know that we adjusted to what was going on.
But that's a better finance committee discussion,
Yeah,
so you can get into
it
those
is.
details. And because there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot more nuanced things. I mean, you're right to bring it up.
Sure.
And there's a lot more nuanced things like the money coming in and us having to take a loan for the replacement taxes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and that comes into play here too.
And maybe when I have the budget meeting, special meeting for that, we'll just have a finance committee too.
Well, yeah, that
Instead
should be in the
of-
finance committee.
Right, instead of waiting till next month. Okay, because next month, the plan is that the village will approve the budget on July. So I'm hoping that we approve the budget, the certificate, and everything that we have to sign at the May meeting, which we've done in the past. And then they file it at the end of the year. But I can talk about, we are starting to see money come in from the tax dollars. They've been identified as 2024. So we are starting to get all the money. I don't know when we're gonna get March's payment, which the bill didn't go out to April. But my concern is the same that I had before. We had a history, and fortunate enough that we would be able to collect 95% of the tax dollars that are available to us. I can't bank on that. I have to take a conservative approach, and that's why you'll see a few things on the agenda that we have to discuss. I have to be prepared, because it seems like other municipalities and libraries had to react to what was going on, and we were slightly ahead of the game. I just wish to God back in May I knew it was Tyler Technologies, because then I knew we would have been in trouble. But the point is that, yeah, our money is coming in, and we're finally reaping the monies that we levied a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So now we're getting our revenues where it should be, where we can do everything we need to do, but we still need to be careful that we're not going to get the whole amount. And who knows what happens? Who would have ever thought that would have happened? And trust me, asking for a loan is not an easy thing. So we want to do things internally. You know, my goal this year is to enhance what we're doing, not necessarily expand as much as we can, because we could only have 1,200 programs, and all we could fit is 25,000 people. We're landlocked, basically building locked, until we do the expansion upstairs. But I don't see it growing that much more. But I want what we're doing now to improve on what we're doing. The cultural programs, P&G. You know, the challenges at this library is we want to do something that no one else is doing. We want to be the first to do it. That's my goal, and that's what I have on me. And fortunately for me, you know, I have a good staff to support that. But I want to talk one more minute about staff. One of the things I told them, and they know, but 3 years when they came here, I think they thought that, you know, they came from some libraries that did 2 or 3 programs a month. They're doing 2 and 3 programs a week now. They're doing much more than whatever the average may be. Some libraries do more, but we have a heavier focus on it. And I'm lucky to have the staff that I have. So that's what I have. If you have any questions or anything, reach out.
Okay, moving on to the building committee. Trustee Santangelo, you have a
No,
report?
nothing.
Although you're going to be having a meeting.
Well, we're gonna have to do.
Okay, and our bylaws, goals, policy, and personnel meeting, Trustee Segura.
Mr. President, the BGPP committee met prior to our general meeting. We recommend, we're pushing forward the approval of the meeting room policy, employee personnel manual, and the hotspot policy.
Okay, it's coming up on unfinished business. Anything else to report?
Oh. No, not at this.
Okay, and you will be getting 2 policies apparently back to you that we struck from the consent agenda, so. All right, Finance Committee, Trustee Belendis.
I think Mr. Castiglio covered everything that needs to be covered. We should be meeting pretty soon.
Okay. All right, so moving on to unfinished business. Do I have a motion to accept the meeting room policy that has been given to us after a final review from the BGPP meeting earlier? Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Segura, do I have a second?
One second.
Trustee Belendis. Any discussion on that? So if you recall, there were some minor changes from the last BGPP meeting. So Tom made those changes, so what you have is the final version, so. And we talked a lot about a lot of those.
No substantial changes today happened.
No, it was just the changes that were in the BGPP meeting before, so.
Just verifying that what we discussed last meeting actually got entered into the policy.
And your changes.
Okay. Except for the,
Huh?
except for the no
We'll
deposit
go
part.
through it,
but-
go through
Right.
it. Yeah, okay. The majority of
The
the
the big
changes.
one, yeah.
All right, any more discussion? Call the question.
Trustee Belendis,
Yes.
trustee Santangelo.
Yes.
Trustee Monahan,
No.
trustee Narayan,
Yes.
trustee Fosco absent, trustee Segura, yes, trustee Pesco,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right, and do I have a motion? Actually, personnel manual is coming down below, so we will hold off on that. Do I have a motion to table the hotspot policy until the next meeting for further changes?
One second.
Trustee Segura, Trustee Belendis. Any discussion you want to discuss? Some of the changes that we want to adjust to that?
Could we go through them again? Do you mind? I'd like to go through the table changes.
So do you have the hotspot policy in?
It's in the BGP.
Well, is it in the board packet too?
Probably not, no.
It should be in the board packet. Have you seen it, Mike?
I think I've seen it was in the
Yeah,
email version,
Yeah.
and I have the BGPP.
okay.
I mean, only if there's anything, I'll agree to take it.
Well, I mean, we don't have to if,
You know,
if we're good with the changes that you had put in. Good with leaving the dates.
The date, yeah, right. But I don't have to bring it back to committee to change the date.
No. But if we table it, we know if the dates are gonna change, then we can just approve it next
Okay.
month with the additional changes, and then approve any other policy that has any kind of date changes or time changes.
Then that means anything here that was under the consent, policy review that had a date, we would have to change it
You'll have-
again and table it again.
And, well, not table it, you're gonna, well, we can do it, we can approve it now, and then we can put it under the consent agenda for the date change in the next meeting.
Okay.
So it's up to you, we can approve it now,
Yeah, I like to approve it.
okay?
Otherwise, the 2022 version stays on board.
Okay. So trustee Segura, do you amend your hotspot policy from table to approve
Yes, I did.
as presented? How about you, trustee Belendis, as a second?
I do, yes.
Any additional conversation on that?
yeah, can I have some clarification about what just happened?
So we were talking earlier about, in the policy, it's got the times, the
With the
times the
library
library's
hours.
open,
Okay.
yeah. And eventually you're gonna have to change that, right? So we had talked about possibly striking that out.
Okay.
So you don't have to continually update that if we change library hours,
Oh, so just striking.
right,
Okay.
going forward?
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
That we just make a change right now and approve it, and it just says that, just say something like, it has to be returned during normal, normal times the library is open. That way, if you change your hours from time to time as the years go on, you don't have to go back and change anything.
That's what I was suggesting
Good
previously.
idea.
Okay, why don't we just do that?
Okay.
I thought you were suggesting to take it out altogether.
Yeah, or replace it with something, so what do we want that section to
Just
read?
take out that sentence that says the library is open Monday,
Uh-huh.
Friday. I mean, that just gives people notice of when the library is open.
Right.
Change that sentence to say, hotspots must be returned to library staff during normal operating hours. How about that?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Trustee Segura? Okay with the change?
Are you getting married again?
Okay. Second Amendment. All right, any discussion on that amendment? All right, trustee Segura, will you call the policy question?
Trustee Belendis,
Yes.
trustee Santangelo.
Yes.
Trustee Monahan,
Yes.
trustee Narayan,
Yes.
trustee Bosco absent, trustee Segura, yes, trustee Pesco.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, moving on. Do I have a motion to consider amending the previously approved start time for regular board meetings from 5:30 PM to 7 PM for all meetings held on the second Monday of each month?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee Monahan. Do I have a second?
One second.
Trustee Narayan, do I have any discussion on that?
I would just, again, plead that if we can move it back, coming here straight from work is difficult, and I have to leave early and not eat dinner, and I'm trying to be prepared and my best self for these things. I think 5 o'clock is a hard time to get here for policy meetings. If we moved it to 7 o'clock, we have more time for the policy, or committee meetings, I'm sorry. I thought it was working just fine with 7 o'clock, and it's been made substantially more difficult moving it to 5:30.
Any other discussion on that?
I personally like the hours that we have right now, but I
Right.
don't know
I have no issues with the current hours, and we can include the employees to be here before they go home, so I'm good with the way they are.
Does it help to have the committee meetings after if they're not needing another meeting right after to approve it?
That would help unless that slows things down. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it's nice if we want to have the committee meeting,
Mhm.
you know, beforehand to be able to not delay a month between moving from committee to the full board. I mean, that would help.
Or we have the meeting, the committee meeting the day before. Any thoughts on it?
I mean, for me, anytime is fine. I'm more concerned about having the staff here, but
I actually spoke, I'm happy with the time that it is. So because of the staff, it's important to have them here. I spoke with the second motion.
Okay.
Mr. Monahan.
All right, well, call the question.
Trustee Balundas,
No.
trustee Santangelo,
no.
trustee Monahan,
Yes.
trustee Ryan,
No.
trustee Fusco absent, trustee Segura no, trustee Pesco.
No.
The motion does not pass.
Okay, moving on. The amendment to library hours, do I have a motion to amend the current hours for Fridays from 9 AM to 9 PM to be revised to 9 AM to 6 PM?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee Santangelo. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Belundis. Any discussion on that? So what have you found that we need to move it by the 3 hours? Or 2 hours, sorry?
What
Or 3
I
hours.
found is 7 hours a week.
This is just for
Wait,
Friday.
sorry,
This is just for
was this in
Friday.
Two different motions?
Oh, for Friday?
Yes, these are two
This is
different
two.
motions.
Oh, for Friday? Well, what we found is, like on Fridays, on other days, there's not a whole lot of people here. Especially at 7:15 seems to be the magic time. The younger kids have to go home to bed. You know, we might have some teenagers hanging around downstairs, but we're not doing many programs on Friday.
Well,
None that we can't
And
move.
it's a weekend.
initially, for years, it was never open on Friday.
Never.
night. Never.
We
I mean,
tried it.
it was supposed to be an experiment to see how it worked
Right.
out. And for the gaming room, to see how many kids came to the gaming room.
It wasn't an experiment for the gaming room. It was an experiment if we needed the space to do more programming. That's what the Friday.
Didn't we
was
adjust
about.
it, what, 9 months ago or?
I think it was over a year.
It was over a year.
Yeah.
Over a year ago.
All right.
Yeah, 2024.
Any other discussion? If it makes data sense to do that, then we adjust it. I think Friday, you know, we've been doing this Friday thing for a while, and if it hasn't been panning out in terms of attendance,
No.
and when we're gonna have programs, it makes sense for us to, you know, not be open those hours, especially coming into summer, and we can always address it again in fall,
Correct.
especially coming into summer if most of it is teens that are gonna be out playing around. Any other thoughts?
We can adjust these,
I mean, if nobody's
We can
here on
revisit
Friday
this if
night,
we
then
see
what's the point of having it open?
if we see an increase in attendance later in the year, in the fall, that we.
If we need the time, I could see going back to it, but right now, I don't see it.
I mean, no one's coming in.
And
It makes
I
sense to
think the
leave the
attendance
library
will
open.
decrease as well
Yeah.
as the summer comes around.
Right.
You know,
Sure.
No teenager or anybody will want to hang out in the library.
On Friday nights.
Right.
Right. Like Sundays, we're lucky 40 people come in. And that's to make copies.
All right, being no more discussion, call the question.
Trustee Balundas,
Yes.
trustee Santangelo.
Yes.
Trustee Monahan,
Yes.
trustee Ryan,
Yes.
trustee Fusco absent, trustee Segura yes, trustee Pesco.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Do I have a motion to adjust the Monday through Thursday hours of 9 AM to 8 PM? Sorry, from 9 AM to 9 PM down to 9 AM to 8 PM.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee Belundis. Do I have a second?
No second.
Seconded by trustee Narayan. Okay, discussion on that one. So you want to talk about the data for it first?
Yeah, the data is, again, what I previously stated. After 7 to 7:15, it dies down drastically, and we staff accordingly, that we make sure we have 2 people on desk till 7 o'clock because it's busy. The kids are small that go upstairs. We're not getting the traffic. And is it feasible to be open for a short number of people, especially in these financial times?
What about when you have the programs though that?
The programs aren't gonna be a problem, because if a program is gonna end up after 8 o'clock, we shut the gate down there,
Oh,
anybody
okay.
could use the bathroom. So anything we need to extend.
Yeah, still be
And we
staffed.
don't have that many programs.
After 8, I know.
No, not after 8, after 7 o'clock,
Because it
7:30.
runs an hour?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's not many.
So what about trivia nights?
Trivia night, there's trivia night, paint and sip are the two that I could think of, and maybe one others.
What about music? Week?
And music bingo.
These are highest attended programs that start at 7 o'clock.
We might start at 6:30. There's a few, most of the programs start at 6:30 and 6 o'clock. We might go back 30 minutes, but there's not a problem. I've talked to staff, if we just bring the gate down, you could go to the bathroom, the door will be open, and you lock up.
So it's like all the programs, I think, from 6 to 9, right? We have a total attendance of around 1,200 people or so, right? So if you change that by an hour, that would impact maybe 24 programs?
No, we're really not impacting any programs.
Well, because some programs extend beyond that 8 PM timeline, right?
Right, so they would.
Currently. So,
So they would end sooner, or they would end at 8 o'clock, and we just extend it. We leave it open. It's not that many instances to do that.
right. And then what if,
So the whole point on that is, if you want to put it numerically, you're talking about $20,000 to $30,000,
right,
okay? So if you do the math, for at least 4 people being here, times 4 hours, 16 hours times 52 weeks, at $25 an hour, the numbers will equate. For the 4 instances that might occur, that we can cover on Mondays, even if we just made Mondays to 9 o'clock. Because the majority of these programs are on Monday.
No, trivia's on Tuesday.
Right. Monday, Tuesday.
well, I thought Monday is a slower day. Is
Well, and the
Monday,
important thing is we don't have any data for any of this, do we?
Yes, we do.
You told me that we don't have any gate counts or anything.
I have all the programming
Do we have
data.
ins and outs other than programs?
Oh, other
I
than
mean,
program,
we
people
see-
coming in and out?
well, you got check
I want
outs.
to
You know-
see data for Friday, but that, we try to figure out.
Well, that's the whole point. Why Friday and not Monday or Tuesday?
That's what I
Well,
said.
because Friday's on a weekend. That makes a difference because Friday's on a weekend in summer and we
But Monday's the day
and we had
after.
adjusted it previously to go later, right? So that's why I separated them out separately.
I have a
Seems like
full
they're different.
analysis that I did. I'll forward to all of you on it, on programs that are being done, which ones aren't going to be done, what time the programs are programs by hour and by day. And you'll see it. You know, we have to look at ways of tightening our belt. We don't have the freedom, we don't have the freedoms that you think.
Right, so, but, okay, so,
We have $800,000 underspent. We have a
That's-
$100,000 program. Like,
Yeah, but Mike, 565,000 was all passed through for the building fund and the appropriation for grant.
a $20,000 savings is nothing.
right, it's small.
You know what?
4
Hold
hours a
on,
week.
20,000 is a lot because it's almost 30% of our programming and books. And that's our biggest selling.
And our
So-
programming budget is massively inflated. I mean, that's a conversation for later, but
No, it's a discussion now. 20,000 is a lot to this library.
we have 100,000, you're asking for $100,000 for programming.
Mike, I had to go out and borrow money for this library
I
to
know.
succeed. I had to go through the line by line with the banks going on this. We're not in a great financial position.
I'm saying the planning doesn't make sense. If our programming budget is the size of the Elmhurst libraries, then we should be keeping ourselves open till 9 o'clock and cutting.
You're right. Now, if you look, one of the things you look at, and I gave you the timing of other libraries. Libraries around here are open the same amount as we are going to be. Okay? The libraries that are open 72 hours, River Grove, Schiller Park, Franklin Park, they're open from 56 to 58 hours. Okay? The libraries that are open 72, 71 have twice the amount of money that we have.
68, shouldn't we? We should be at 68 hours, isn't it?
Who, us?
Us.
No.
If we drop the Friday?
Oh, if we drop the Fridays, we're at
we just
68.
did, Right,
Yeah, we did, but not in the book.
but in
But
the
still,
world,
we're still 8 hours more than the neighboring libraries.
I mean, we should be.
Maybe
I feel
69.
bad for the people of River Grove and Franklin Park that don't have access, and we can afford to provide that.
Okay,
I think at the very least, I mean, I'm gonna put the motion out there, it gets seconded or not, but we should table this until we have a new budget approved, and we should have, on the motion with that, but we need data.
I have the data.
I don't.
Yeah, so
You don't.
yeah, we can,
I forwarded the data. The data is not going to change any of the assumptions that I said. Well, first of all, you're discounting what 20,000 means to this library. 20,000 would have got me paid for 4 months, too. Remember that.
yeah, so then, okay, so
See, that's the other thing.
I get it's 20K, but you're also going to put that back into other things
We're going to
like books,
reinvest the
programs.
money that we save. The premise that I've gone by my whole life is if I'm going to save $1, I'm going to use 50 cents for something else.
That's good for you personally, but that's not
It's good for the library.
everybody here. but-
No, it's good for the library. I'm reinvesting in the library. Because I don't have any money if the elevator goes out. I have to accumulate some type of reserve. We're not burdening the taxpayers
My
here.
point with that was that the programming budget is going to exceed the capacity to spend it. If we're not open, we're not gonna be able to spend $90,000.
But there's no programs at that time. There's no Mike, there's no elimination of any programs.
So it'd be starting at different times.
A handful of programs starting 30 minutes.
30 start times, like.
No, it's not 5:30 start time. It would be 6 or 6:30. Majority of the programs start at that time.
Dinner.
Look at the data and the people in attendance who are coming.
I've been doing this for 15 years.
You might have been doing it, but you're not here looking at the programs here.
I'm asking for that very often. Yes, I am, and I come to programs here.
Yeah, yeah, so
I
there's
don't want to have
been,
an argument, I'm sorry.
No, Mike, I don't want to argue with you, but you know what? I'm the guy that has to worry about the money.
well, and we're
You know,
going
and
to,
that's the whole point that you have, no, that's not true.
but the,
Because I'm the one dealing with across the street.
yeah, but,
And I'm the one dealing with staff. My staff is underpaid. We could talk about that till we're blue in the face. You know it, we all know it.
so Mike, let's table this. I think we got a motion to table the hour change, and was it trustees Belundis?
I don't know if anybody seconded the motion to table, but there should
Do you-
be a vote on the,
No, she seconded it, that's Kate seconded.
on the motion to table?
No,
To,
no,
Okay, well, there is a
and that's why I want, there's a motion to table. Now,
So somebody,
trustee Belundis, do you want to table it, or do you want to have further
Can I say
discussion?
something?
Sure, absolutely.
I think I agree with saving money, because we need to save money. And I agree that we should cut down the hours. We're talking about 1 hour at night, and this is not written in stone forever and ever. See what kind of impact it has on the budget, and see what kind of impact it has on the people showing up or not showing up.
How can we see that, though? How can you, like, what are we gonna look at to compare it to?
Well,
We don't
see
have
how
a
many
date
people
count.
attend the program, how many people
But it's
don't.
beyond programs. There are people who may come here at 6 o'clock, and they might not
Right.
leave until 8:30,
It-
and they're just not being counted.
That's a point, and,
It's a point that you agreed with when we met.
no, I know that, but the problem, see, let me give you a great example. If I had $4,000, we'd have the best door counter up on top, which I want to buy, but I can't buy it. Because we all understand that we need that. The data is valuable for IPLAR and everything else, but I can't go out and spend $4,000 on it.
He's not
I
yet.
can't take health insurance, okay?
You can, but,
I can't,
You're right in the
it's over the
budget.
budget.
yeah.
I'm right, yeah, I am writing a budget, but I'm gonna try and do what's right. First of all, in this situation, I have a lot of history of people losing their jobs, and that's what I'm concerned about. I'm not thinking about today in this budget, I'm thinking about going forward. And if it's what's been happening the last 5 months with the village is gonna continue,
And you mean the receipts coming in?
and yeah, the receipts are starting to come in.
Right, so we're delayed on that. So we've
We're
got,
delayed on
we've
that.
got significant expense on that, but I don't want to go too far afield from this question on the hour. So did you have another discussion before we see if the initial motioner wants to table? Trustee Narayan, do you have?
If there's a motion to table.
There's a motion to table.
Then you take a vote on the
Yeah.
motion to table. You know, if
Do I
it's-
have a second on the motion to table? Or would you rather vote tonight? Okay. Second, motion by trustee Monahan to table, and second by trustee Narayan. And you'd be requesting additional data,
Yes.
And I have it upstairs.
okay? And so we can adjust this possibly next meeting?
Yeah.
Do we, any discussion on the motion to table? All right, trustee Segura, will you call the question?
Trustee Belundis,
Yes.
trustee Santangelo,
No.
trustee Monahan,
Yes.
trustee Narayan, trustee Fosco, absent, trustee Segura, yes, trustee Pesco.
No.
We have 2 noes.
Well, it's all right, you got 4. 4 versus 2, motion passes. So we're tabling,
Yes, correct.
so that's right, yeah. All right, moving on. That was the question. Okay, so do I have a motion to approve Resolution 2026-02 for the revised personnel manual? You have the resolution in your board packet.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee Santangelo. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Belundis. Okay, so this is on the personnel manual. It's been fully reviewed by legal counsel. And you've had a copy before that has all the changes in it. And I don't think there's anything that's gone afield of those changes, correct? BGPP?
Yes.
It's all lined up. Any discussion on it? Anything from the manual?
I mean, I think the part-time, the paid time off is inadequate. It should be 4 weeks, it's the industry standard. That's all that matters to compare it to. Doesn't matter to compare it to the private sector, doesn't matter to compare it to the past. The current situation is that new librarians get at least 3 weeks vacation plus 5 days additional. So
Well, and that's where I'll disagree with you, because I think it does matter. You're expecting me to have the people of the Elmwood Park community who get 2 weeks when they start a new job
some of them.
to pay for everybody else in this library to get better benefits than they have,
And oftentimes less salary.
maybe, and
oftentimes
oftentimes,
less vacation.
oftentimes more salary. So I can't seem to do that. So, because from a fiscal responsibility perspective and keeping our numbers low for each family here, got a lot of working class families that don't get that, it's really hard to give that. So I'd much rather do something with pay or something else that we can do, and we can always use it at the discretion of the director if we do have trouble finding people to do and put up a new additional week for them if they're having trouble finding somebody.
Sorry for the staff.
Any other discussion on the manual? Okay, trustee Segura, will you call the question?
Trustee Belundis,
Yes.
trustee Santangelo.
Yes.
Trustee Monahan,
Definitely.
trustee Narayan. Trustee Narayan.
Yes.
Trustee Fosco, absent. Trustee Segura, yes. Trustee Pesco.
Yes. All right, I don't think that there's a need for executive session, so there being no need for executive session, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by trustee Segura, seconded by trustee Belundis. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned.
The budget.